long before humans built cities, before history was written, before legends were born. North America belonged to giants. Mammoths thundered across frozen plains. Giant sloths towered over forests. And stalking them all was a predator built not for speed, but for power. The dire wolf. Larger than modern wolves, armed with bone-crushing jaws, and adapted for a world that no longer exists. This is the true story of Enoxion, its rise, its fall, and humanity's attempt to bring it back. The dire wolf evolved in North America roughly 250,000 years ago, during a period of dramatic climate fluctuation. For decades, scientists believed dire wolves were close relatives of modern gray wolves. But recent genetic studies revealed something surprising. Dire wolves belong to a separate evolutionary lineage, diverging from wolves over 5 million years ago. This makes the dire wolf not just a large wolf, but a distinct species uniquely adapted to Ice Age ecosystems. They thrived in open grasslands, cold steppe environments, semi-arid plains filled with large grazing animals. They were perfectly engineered for one thing, dominating megafauna-rich landscapes. At first glance, the dire wolf may have resembled a modern gray wolf, but in reality it was built on a much heavier frame. Dire wolves were slightly taller at the shoulder, but far more robust and muscular than any living wolf today. Most adult dire wolves are estimated to have weighed between 130 and 150 pounds, but the largest individuals, likely dominant pack members or males living during peak Ice Age conditions, may have reached up to 180 pounds, possibly more in extreme cases. That makes the biggest dire wolves heavier than nearly all modern wolves, rivaling the largest gray wolves ever recorded. Their bodies were supported by thicker limb bones, wider chests, shorter, more powerful legs. This wasn't a predator built for long-distance pursuit. It was built to grapple, overpower, and hold down massive prey. The skull tells the rest of the story. Dire wolves had exceptionally strong jaws, and their teeth show extreme wear, fractures, and polishing, clear evidence of habitual bone crushing. Unlike modern wolves that often abandon carcasses once the soft tissue is gone, dire wolves fed deep, cracking bones to reach the marrow inside. In the unforgiving Ice Age environment, wasting food wasn't an option. Strength wasn't just an advantage, it was survival. Dire wolves were not solitary hunters. Evidence from fossil sites, especially Rancho La Brea tar pits, suggests they hunted in large cooperative packs. Their prey included Ice Age horses, bison, camels, juvenile mammoths, giant ground sloths. These animals were massive and dangerous. Bringing them down required coordination, endurance, and overwhelming force. Rather than chasing prey over long distances, dire wolves likely cornered animals, targeted the weak or injured. Slowly exhausted prey through repeated attacks. They were not sprinters, they were executioners. Popular culture portrays dire wolves as enormous white beasts, but science paints a more grounded picture. Genetic and environmental evidence suggests dire wolves were gray, brown, or mottled, camouflaged for grasslands and forests. White coats were likely rare, possibly limited to northern populations in snowy regions. They were rugged, scarred, and battle-hardened. Not mythical creatures, but survivors of a brutal world. The dire wolf did not rule alone. It shared its world with some of the most dangerous predators to ever live, including Smilodon, saber-toothed cats, American lions, short-faced bears, gray wolves, human hunters. Competition was constant. At carcass sites, dire wolves likely clashed with saber-toothed cats, using pack numbers to drive them away. Short-faced bears, however, were a different story, towering giants capable of stealing kills outright. Dire wolves survived by strength and numbers, but the Ice Age ecosystem was a violent chessboard where dominance constantly shifted. As humans entered the Americas, a new and unpredictable competitor appeared. Early humans hunted the same prey: horses, bison, megafauna. This placed them on a direct collision course with dire wolves. Evidence suggests dire wolves scavenged human kill sites, Humans may have killed dire wolves to protect food. Both species competed for dwindling prey. Humans hunted smarter, using tools, fire, and coordinated strategy. Over time, this may have tipped the balance. The dire wolf had survived predators for hundreds of thousands of years, but humans changed the rules. Around 12,500 years ago, the Ice Age ended. Temperatures rose, grasslands vanished, megafauna disappeared. For the dire wolf, this was catastrophic. Its specialization became its weakness. While gray wolves adapted to smaller prey and new environments, dire wolves could not pivot fast enough. Within a few thousand years, they were gone. Extinction was swift and final. For over 12,000 years, the dire wolf existed only as fossils, until genetic technology changed everything. Companies like Colossal Biosciences have explored the possibility of dire wolf revival using ancient DNA, CRISPR gene editing, surrogate mothers, large domestic dogs. Reported efforts suggest experimental pups were born in late 2024 and early 2025, though full verification and long-term outcomes are still under study. These animals are not exact replicas, but genetically engineered approximations. Still, it marks a scientific milestone. Supporters argue de-extinction could restore lost ecological roles, advance conservation science, and help endangered species survive. Critics warn of ethical concerns, ecosystem disruption, and playing God with nature. The dire wolf is no longer just an animal. It's a question. The dire wolf once hunted giants in a frozen world. It vanished when that world ended. Now humanity stands at a crossroads, with the power not just to study extinction, but to challenge it. If the dire wolf walks again, it won't just be a predator reborn. It will be a reminder that the past is never truly gone.